Okay, back on the streets, and this one's going to rip your socks. Uh, it was Decadence Week this week in New Orleans. And Decadence Week, of course, is exactly what it sounds like. It's probably one of the, if not the biggest gay, parades, and it's a big orgy, is what it is. It's a big gay orgy. Every deviant lifestyle and everything else is going to be. You're going to see on these streets. The last thing you want to do is bring your kids to New Orleans during Labor Day weekend. It's the last thing you want to do. Now, all weekend long, I've been subjected to, of course, what's I don't know, gay bashing reverse. Obviously, gays are not, a Trump constituency to any large extent, and certainly not the ones that showed up for this event. So this is one of the rare occasions that a couple of them actually stopped by, and I got a chance to talk to them. And oh boy, what a talk. The fact that this guy, is a flamboyant gay gentleman who's spending some time at, Decadence Week, is in charge of placing foster children should raise some alarm. I'm sure there's no laws against this, at least not, with book law. But it just seemed, with all that goes on between the Catholic Church and all the institutions and the horror stories you hear from the CPA and everything else, it's just, the unisex Boy Scouts now and everything else just piled on top of one another. And here we got a flamboyant gay man who places foster children. Okay. So I tried to temper it and get into it, and I think I hit a few nerves, which is, I guess my mission in life. But this one's going to be, this one will probably, this is going to drop some questions here. I'll probably pop in a couple of times just to, or maybe not. Maybe we'll just let it roll because this thing flowed pretty well. Other than that, I got some real good ones coming up. I mean, this was, although not a very busy weekend in a sense. I mean, as I said, it's not my crowd. The people I did talk to had some startling things to say. So get ready for some good videos. And I just thought I'd start out with this one because I'm still trying to recover from it. All right, let's get to the streets. So you guys, I take it in for Decadence. I'm taking a wild guess here, right?
Yes.
It's not your first Decadence, is it?
No, no. That's awesome.
Thank you. Where are you guys from?
Pensacola, Florida.
Oh, great. What do you do back there? You in Pensacola too?
Yeah, Pensacola.
What do you do back there?
I'm a social worker. I do foster care.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You do foster care? I guess I didn't do a very good job of hiding my surprise there at what he does. You do what? Ah! That's basically what I was saying on the inside. On the outside, I said this.
I help licensed foster care parents. Yeah.
How many children are you responsible for?
Right now, we have a total of about between 50 and 56 children in foster care in our private agency right now.
Really?
Yeah, it's parents is doing whatever and they getting the kids removed.
Well, that's
Then they
the
don't-
whatever I'm asking about, because
Yeah.
it seems to me like CPS and other agencies also seem to be overstepping the bounds. I'm hearing about people having their children taken away because of minor infractions.
No, they have. I mean, because see, the thing is, even if you remove the children, they have to go to court within 24 hours. The judge can always place the children back if he feel like that something was done wrong, or that they didn't follow the rules.
Well,
something like that.
again, there.
So that's
Matter of
all-
fact, there was a case recently of a black guy who had his 3 children removed because he spanked one of their butts, and he didn't do it hard. It was just like any parent will say, "No, you don't do that again." Smack,
Yeah.
smack, smack. But because the child, went to school and said, my daddy disciplined me, he spanked me, Child Protection Services come out, take all 3 of his kids away. He fought for 3 years through the courts to try to finally get them back. And then this isn't an isolated story I hear it out here a lot too. So I'm wondering, how, and then of course there's the whole thing about who we putting our children in the protection of, because a lot of, and correct me anything I'm wrong here, but don't foster parents receive money from the government? Isn't there?
They get some. It's not a lot that people think it is, but they do get some.
But there's an incentive there to go ahead and then get more children, or
Well, we pretty much put a cap on it because we like a private agency, and so they allow so many children, and so we kind of put a cap. And then what happened is, like, what we do when we have new foster parents, we don't license them for 1. We don't, and then the next year, depending on how well they do the next year, then they get 2 or 3. But they have to prove that they are able to, maintain a household and that they can maintain a stable living off of, the children that's already in the home before we can increase it.
okay.
So we have a process where we make sure that those children are going into a safe environment, and like what we do, we go out to the home quarterly. So like I got to go see all of my foster parents this month.
Okay, now if I
And so we go out there regularly all the time.
a question kind of on subject, but tangent to what this is, because it's right in my mind. The news article I read yesterday was in Gateway Pundit, where there is an organization. It's called like Tranny Book Hour or something of that nature. But what you have are men dressed up as women that are going around to children's libraries, school libraries, dressed in full regalia. And we're talking about very young children here. We're talking about very impressionable 4, 5, in the
Right.
beginning, right? To, so like 4, 5, 6-year-olds. And they're projecting or pushing their lifestyle onto children that young. How is that even proper?
Where is this even
No.
happening at?
Right.
It's happening all over the country. Matter of fact, it was just, well, if you would like to pull it up in Lafayette, they just stopped it. The parents rose up. That's what made the news. The parents rose up against it. And I will put money on this. We can look this up. It is a group of transsexuals across the country that are going around and doing hourly book readings to children, very young children, projecting and pushing this, their orientation on these very small children.
I mean,
this is what the
I
parents
ain't
are.
never heard of that.
I've never heard of that neither, but my thing is,
Not
okay, if
saying
they both,
it's not true,
the only
but I
thing
haven't
that they
heard
should be
of
doing
that.
is just reading the book. So I don't know, like, how would they be pushing?
You
their
can watch the
lifestyle.
videos. You can watch the
Yeah.
videos. The
I'll
videos
have to
are
look it up to
online,
see.
and you can see. And they dance. I mean, you got them on the ground doing dances, sticking their butts in the air. The kids are coming up and putting dollar bills in their stockings. I'm not making this stuff up. You can see the videos.
No, I've never heard
Parents
of
were doing videoing this and then putting it online, and other people were going, "What the hell is this?"
that. Right.
Yeah.
So please go look it up. I mean, but personally, if this is true, I'm just saying, it obviously is. I wouldn't be talking like this if it wasn't.
Yeah.
Is that proper?
Well, I mean,
Thank you.
I wouldn't think it's proper, but I can
that's-
see from another standpoint that for them, it's more of just an entertainment, just to entertain the children.
To entertain the children. How? What? What? Maybe it's just there to well, hire a clown. Or if you want to entertain children, I understand they kind of look like clowns, but clowns don't normally, talk about gender bending and then, rub their groins in your face. So, God, entertainment? Yeah, for what?
Now, the other problem is where the kids getting the money from to go and give.
The parents are there giving it to them. It's the parents too I'm wondering about. How do you subject your children to this?
Right. So that's who.
And what school board allowed this?
Right. So that's who they should be upset with, not the entertainers, because the entertainers are entertaining the children for the purpose of what they do.
It goes to me. It goes to the school and the school board.
Right.
Why they would even accept that application. But this is going on across the country, which says that this is an isolated incident. The isolated incident was that it was captured on film, put on YouTube, and everybody else said, yeah, look, this is happening all over the place.
Yeah.
And so, it was alarming because a lot of the, it's no mystery that the gay lifestyle is very flamboyant by nature. It's cool. It's fine. It's colorful, I have no problem with who does what as long as you're not pushing anybody else. And that's my premise with this. Children should be out of bounds. They should be, when it comes to sexual orientations and, lifestyles, they should at least be able to come to some semblance of age, to be able to start putting two together without confusing them with all this, and when you put someone very flamboyant and colorful and, in front of them, it's going to affect them. Now, maybe the parents are so guilt-ridden because, political correctness. They don't want to seem like, I don't want to be homophobic. I don't want to say like I'm against trannies, right? So, allow this. So they play on the guilt of the parents, and then project this. And so who what in the school boards? Because I've been talking to teachers all summer long too. And a lot of the problems we face, of course, come from the fact that the Communist Manifesto says anytime you take over a country, a Western civilized country, you don't do it from the outside. You don't do it by war. You do it through the schools. You infest the school boards. And you project this ideology over, 3 generations, and then you wind up with a generation that thinks Bernie Sanders is a good person to run for, to be president.
Obviously, I'm just fast forwarding here through, through history and trying to jam in geopolitics 101 in a matter of a few seconds for these idiots, because there's obviously something very, very wrong here. And I wanted to go ahead and stick them in the eye if they were Bernie Sanders supporters, for leftists in general, to say, hey, look, man, maybe what you believe in ain't exactly what the hell it is all cracked up to be. So I don't know if I reached them at all. I don't know if I did anything, but at least I gave them my 2 cents.
This is what happens. They eat us out from the inside. So all of this is to destroy the family. How do you do that? Well, let's start with the children. So it's the school board's allowing this lifestyle to come into mid-America. Look it up, please.
We will. Thank you so much.
I do. And that's how you handle that.
Well, as always, if you would like this video, you will hit the like button. If you care, you share. If you look, it seems I hit 950 and then all of a sudden I go backwards again. Obviously, there's some kind of a governor. I don't know. All I know is I can't get above 950. I cannot reach that 10,000 mark, and obviously there's got to be something weird about that, because even with the people I meet on the streets, I'm going to gain about, 10 subscribers a week just with the people, even 5 a week would put me soon to be at that 10,000 mark. So, but I'm not getting there, so please share. If you haven't already subscribed, when you're a new listener, please, of course, subscribe. And tomorrow we got a tropical storm coming, so hopefully I'll be able to go ahead and batten down the hatches here. And nothing much will come out of it other than I get to stay indoors and do some more video editing for your viewing pleasure. And all of this time and effort and sweat and blood and abuse I take is so you can enjoy these videos. So if you would, if you could, support my dumb ass, will you? Go get something. I have some good t-shirts, mugs, and you can get all my, you get designs and a lot of different things, so get some. All right? Okay. That's it. Nice talking to you. See you on the streets.